2018. We thought about starting off with an agenda and a list of items and successes that we've had for 2017, but we don't have enough time for that, so we're going to save that for later. As usual, we like to start with our mission so that we all keep that fresh in our mind. And that mission is to prepare for, respond to, and recover from crisis using all available resources to provide patient care at the appropriate level and in the most efficient manner. Again, that's what we strive for, and it takes everybody in the room here today to make that happen. So again, thank you for your time. Thank you for being here to help us collaborate, to help us plan, help us strategize, help us put things into place so that if there ever is an incident, we're prepared to respond. And although we've got staff at the coalition, which is really cool now, it really does take all of us working together to make this happen. So thank you for taking the time to be with us today. Just some few things, logistics about our meeting. I think some of you are probably getting tired of seeing this slide, but that's okay. It's an important slide. Our emergency exits, if we were ever to have to evacuate the building, are primarily through the door you came in, probably the easiest way out to the parking lot. But if for some reason we can't go that way, we do have exits on both sides of the room. If we have to exit, please, again, meet in the north parking lot so that we can make sure we get everybody out of the building before you start to disperse. We'll check you off with the sign-in sheet. So hopefully on your way in the door, you checked your name off to say that you were here. If you haven't yet, please do so before you leave so that we can have a good count of people that are here. The Wi-Fi password is up on the screen. So if you do need to have Wi-Fi access, there it is for you. Food and drink are allowed in this room, which is a great thing because I know some of you are incredibly busy. And this actually ends up being your lunch hour because it's the only time you have in a day to do that. So feel free, and if you need water, there is drinking fountains right outside the door. Next to the restrooms, right outside the door, on the left and the right in the hallway. We usually have a pretty packed agenda, so we don't typically schedule time for breaks. So if you do need to get up, need to move around, need to use the restroom, please feel free to do so, and we'll try to accommodate that so that you're comfortable during our meeting. We do ask that you silence your cell phones so that we don't interrupt too much of what's going on and people can be courteous. For those of you on GoTo, please remember to use the chat function in your GoTo box, and we will respond to those as soon as we can during the conversation and make sure that we get back to you. If you're in the room here and you have a question, raise your hand and I will try to get to you with the microphone. If I can't get to you with the microphone, I ask that the speakers please try to repeat the question so that those attending through GoTo have access to understand not only the answer, but the question that it was asked for. Again, the sign-in sheet, agenda meetings, the meeting is being recorded and can be found at our srhd.org/HCC website in about 2 weeks. And you can find not only this meeting, but all sorts of incredible information if you haven't looked at that website, from draft plans, templates, meetings, agendas, documents, technical assistance, all sorts of things. It really is a great website with a lot of regional work if you ever need to find something that helps your planning efforts. So feel free to take advantage of that if you get that chance. Just a couple upcoming events we want to make sure everybody's aware of. On February 8th, the Health Sector Emergency Preparedness Training to support CMS compliance is taking place right here at Honduras from 8 to 5. We presently have 54 people signed up. We still have room for about 13 more. And this is a FEMA-sponsored training that will provide you some assistance in understanding what you need to do to meet your CMS compliance. So if you'd like to attend, there's still room available. You can see Heidi in the back. I think she's coordinating that effort. If you're interested and she can give you more information, her email is also on the screen there. So if you wanted to jot that down, that would be helpful for you. Our next, as you know, we're undergoing a process of regional exercises to meet part of our exercise deliverables, but also to practice some of the work that we're putting in place. Earlier this fall, I guess, it's not spring yet, we did have an exercise in the northern part of the county. In the last 2 weeks of February, we're going to conduct the next low notice exercise that will take place for Whitman, Garfield, Columbia, and Asotin counties. And Casey is also in the back corner, and his email's here. If you're in those southern corners and are interested in participating in that exercise, please contact him, let him know. We also have the central exercise, which will be Spokane, Lincoln, and Adams County, that will take place in May. At that point, we will have completed the exercises throughout our region. We will put together all the after actions and lessons learned and see what areas we need to work on for improvement. The reports back from the northern exercise were very favorable and people were excited to participate. I've heard the participation in the southern counties is phenomenal, and everybody's at the table playing, so it's really exciting to see everybody's participation in this work, and it's going to be even more exciting to see what we learn from the work for the first time out in these regions at this level. So it is really exciting. Our next general membership meeting is March 22nd from 1 to 3:30. It is here. You will see that in the newsletters and the bulletins that go out. You'll have an opportunity to register through those. If you're not, if you want to register for the newsletters and the bi-weekly bulletins, you can go to the website here that's on your screen, or you can email us at hcc@srhd.org and get information so that we can make sure that you're connected. A couple other things that are going on, not on the slides here, but just want to make sure you're aware of. Obviously, we're all aware of the current influenza status going on around our state and our nation. It is pretty hot and heavy, and many of us are being impacted. Either we're a healthcare facility and we're seeing patients, or we're a healthcare facility and we're seeing our staff and family being impacted. So it is huge. It is going on. It's going to continue to go on. And one thing that we've done and we're doing as a healthcare coalition to try to support that effort is we're utilizing our situational awareness process, where we're collecting information from healthcare partners on a routine basis. I want to say collaborating that information, but that's not really the right word. We're pulling all that information together and we're sending that back out to you in a simple form to look at, as well as a more definitive definition of what's going on out in the community. So hopefully you've all seen that information and you're part of that situational awareness process. If you're not, please let us know. We'd like to get you and your facility added to that list so that you are providing input to us on what's happening in your facility, and you're also receiving that weekly update on what's going on around our region. We use that process not only for influenza, it's there for any other disaster, any other event that requires the need for sharing situational awareness. So it's great to have that information available to you, but in order to do that, we need to know who in your facility is the appropriate person. So please let us know. You can see Carolyn here if you need more information today, or you can email her at hcc@srhd.org. So that's a great place to be involved and connected to the Healthcare Coalition if you want to get that quick information about what's going on around the region. So hopefully you take advantage of that. The other thing we just want to raise awareness of is, again, we're still in the middle of a saline shortage on the national level. We're still months ahead from a fix for that shortage. We're seeing facilities in our region being impacted by that shortage. And in some cases, we have actually worked through MOUs to make sure that saline solutions are being transferred from facility to facility so that the needs are being met in our community. Some facilities are having to modify the way they're practicing because of the shortage. So it is going on. We will try to keep you updated on relevant information as it's available. But I would put the request out that if your facility does start to have impacts, please let us know. As we look to make sure the region has up-to-date information, it helps for us to know how you're being impacted so that we can share that and understand our healthcare system on a regional level. So please, if you're experiencing some saline shortages, please let us know. The easiest way to do that probably is just the hcc@srhd.org website, or rephrase that, email address. That'll get the email to the appropriate person at the Healthcare Coalition. So keep that in mind as you move forward in the next few weeks and few months. So here's our agenda for the day. I'm about finished here, which is always the good news. Then we're going to start getting into the important stuff. We're going to welcome Hank Hannigan from Whitman Hospital. He's going to give us our C-suite introduction. And we're going to spend some time today not talking about our planning efforts, not talking about that type of thing, but we're really going to have an opportunity to learn from real world experiences of two individuals that are here today that can share those experiences about how healthcare, how the emergency support functions work together in a response. So I think we'll be able to glean a lot from what we hear today about what the needs are and how healthcare fits into that response capability, and maybe what we need to look at our facility level for our plans and kind of updates we might need to do. So two great presenters today that are going to spend some time sharing their experiences. Then Mara Murphy is going to take some time to update us on our hazard vulnerability assessments that we've done at the regional level, kind of talk through the results, what that means. And I think that's a great opportunity as you look at your facility and you look at trying to understand your hazards, how this work can support your work in your facility. So it's a great opportunity to further the work that we're doing. I think by that time, I'm not going to have a whole lot of announcements left. But at that point, we're going to break up into our CMS work groups again. We're going to spend some time trying to talk about the work groups, what the value of those work groups are to those certain disciplines, and how the disciplines can come together to make those work groups successful for you. We've heard that they're great opportunities for you guys to work together in a disciplined manner. We want to be able to support that, but we need some help from you to help define what that means. So we look forward to your participation with those work groups and helping us better understand how we can meet your needs. And yeah, thanks, Travis. That's the go-to. The CMS work groups really are in-person meetings and really cannot be facilitated over GoTo. So at that point, we'll be disconnecting from our GoTo meeting, and we will break up into our work groups here in the office.